I got up and made like this long list of things that I should get done today, and 85% of that didn't get done. And what I've been realizing lately is that no one really cares what you do with your life. Whether I become you know, a homeless and live in the street, whether I stay in this apartment, whether I succeed in life, whether I don't, whether I die, whether I find my purpose, whether I don't, no one truly cares. And as sad as that sounds, and as like bad as that sounds, it's actually a good thing because that means no one truly cares about you. Because as in my early 20s, I'm 24 right now, so still my early 20s, but like right when I turned 20, I remember looking at everyone around me and thinking how bad my life is compared to them, and I cared so much about what other people thought of me in my life and what I was doing in my trajectory and what I was accomplishing. And as I get older, I'm realizing that no one cared. And we make ourselves bigger in our head than we actually are. Like, we don't really matter to most people. And even to the people that we think we matter, they got their own things going on, their own reality to focus on. And with that being said, me getting up today and making a list of everything I wanted to accomplish for the day, and 85% of that not getting done, no one in this world is going to look at that and say, oh, why didn't you get this done? You should have done this, you should have done that. No one cares if I do it or not, if I go through with my plans or not, if I succeed or not, if I get better or not, if I grow or not, So I think that just is more empowering in a sense that you are the only one that can hold yourself accountable. When you're younger, you're in this structured environment where, whether from school or just living at home, where you're told when to wake up, when to have lunch, when you can go to the bathroom. If you don't do your homework, someone's telling you, hey, you should be doing your homework. Why are you getting bad grades? Why are you not showing up? And especially that now that I don't work a 9 to 5, it's like when you're working a structured 9 to 5, people are telling you when you should come to work, when you should clock out, when you should have your lunch, when you should have your break, and if you come late, someone's telling you, hey, why are you late? If you miss a shift, you need to have an excuse. If you want to go on vacation, you need to tell them a week ahead. If you're sick, you have to have, maybe sometimes in some cases you need to have a doctor's note, But right now I work for myself, and as empowering it as that is, I'm realizing how much power I have, and with that power and freedom comes a lot of responsibility that is normally given to people like your parents, teachers, and managers, and I can't outsource that right now. And I don't want to outsource that. The whole point of working for yourself is to be able to have the freedom to be able to be like, I want to work at this time, I don't want to work at this time. I have this coming up and I don't have to explain to anybody, you know. But today, me waking up and not getting things done like I should have, I need to hold myself accountable for that and realize that I need to do better the next day. I have days where like I try to get every single thing done in one day, and I know I gotta structure my life a bit better where I can slow down and get things done, but at the same time know that I'm not gonna change my entire life in one day. So I gotta structure it in a way that I'm getting things done in a good pace throughout the week. Make a better calendar. See, but these are things that I'm learning as I go. No one gives you, when you're in a structured environment, like I said, when you're going to school, when you're out of school, when you're working a 9 to 5, these are structured environments where people have either done it for years before you or someone's just telling you what to do. But when you become an entrepreneur, when you're working for yourself in a way, you have to learn these things on your own. And time management, being disciplined, showing up when you say you would, keeping your word to yourself, is these are things that you gotta learn. And I'm glad that I'm waking up and learning these lessons before someone else has to tell me, or before I fail and things crumble down, and it's like you're learning too late. You're learning by making the biggest mistake possible, and the best thing you can do is learn from your mistakes, but also learn from other people's mistakes. So I'm trying to not only reflect, but also just learn from other entrepreneurs and what they've done wrong. For example, recently I did my taxes like 2 days ago, and I was projected to own like, I'm not gonna say exact numbers, but I had to pay a lot in taxes, and while it came out to a lot of money, it still wasn't something that I couldn't handle. And that's because when I first started on this entrepreneur route, I knew that a lot of entrepreneurs were getting fucked over by taxes. People would start making money, quick money, and then they would forget or neglect taxes, and then it'll catch up to them, and then that'll be their downfall, where they got to start all over again, file for bankruptcy in some ways. So once I learned about that, I was like, taxes is something I need to focus on. So I saved a little bit on the side for taxes, and I kept track of things that I bought for my business, and things that I can write off for my business. So that's why it could have, even though I had to pay a lot, it wasn't as much as it could have been, and I was a bit more prepared. And it's still my first year of this, so like, it definitely could have been a lot better savings, better management of receipts, but I learned from other people's mistakes, and that has saved me more headaches than I could have been I could have been filing for bankruptcy or being homeless or starting from the bottom again if I didn't, learn from other people. So if you're an entrepreneur or if you don't gotta be an entrepreneur, whatever you are, just know that no one cares what you do with your life. And if you really truly want to make a change within your life, within you, you need to hold yourself accountable. You need to take that as some empowerment. You know, you know, see it as empowering that no one really cares what you do with your life. All right, that's really all I got for y'all. I'll catch y'all on the next one.